Ladies and most gentlemen, today we're going to talk about patch 9.0.5 and more specifically the 15 minor changes that are coming to the game in patch 9.0.5, which is apparently coming around March sometime, so yeah, we'll certainly see about that. But before we get into that, guys, just want to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me streaming Shadowlands every single day over on Twitch, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. So, patch 9.0.5, the patch with the Valor Point system and Covenant changes and class changes, and those are all like the major changes that I would class for 9.0.5. So yeah, in this video we're just going to look at some of the smaller things that are coming to the game in 9.0.5, and some of them are super minor, but they are changes nonetheless, and some of them are quite nice, and yeah, definitely some quality of life additions coming in 9.0.5, which, as I said, is coming in March according to Blizzard on the Blue Post. So yeah, let's just jump into the list. As I said, there is 15 that I've found. There might be a few extras in there, but this is just what I found through like streaming and looking around and yeah, just kind of poking around the game. So yeah, so the first one is the Great Vault will now be available on the Ouroboros map. Yeah, so when you go onto the Ouroboros map, you will see an icon for the Great Vault. Now, when there's nothing in the vault, it just kind of sits there and doesn't do anything. You can mouse over it and it tells you which activities you can do to, you know, contribute to the Great Vault. But when it does actually have something in it, it glows, which is a nice little addition there. So, you know, obviously, if you have done something for the Great Vault, you're gonna know there's gonna be something in there. But the little glow is a nice little addition nonetheless. Speaking of the Great Vault, they're actually adding something which I suggested on Twitter and really wanted, just as like a convenience thing, and they're actually doing it now. So when you go to the Mythic Dungeon tab on your character screen, you can now click the Great Vault icon and it brings up the Great Vault screen. Now originally this could be done through weak auras or script commands, and yeah, so now it is literally built into the game where you can just click that little icon there and it brings it up. And that is also available for the PvP page as well. So yeah, whenever you see that Great Vault icon, you can click that and it actually gives you a live view of your Great Vault from anywhere in the game, which is actually really neat. Now, unfortunately, you can't click the icon on the map that I just mentioned. Don't know why that's not a thing. It should be a thing. Maybe it might be a thing. I don't know. But at the moment, you can't click that map icon. So staying in Ouroboros, they're actually adding 2 extra mailboxes to Ouroboros in patch 9.0.5. You're going to have one brand new one by the portal area on the left-hand side of the map, and a brand new one by the Great Vault. So yeah, there you go, 2 brand new mailboxes for you to hang out on with your long boys. And our final minor change in Ouroboros is actually just some background for the PvP vendors. Now, at the moment in retail, they're just kind of bland, kind of standing there with nothing behind them, but as of patch 9.0.5, they're adding some nice little background bits, you know, bits of armor and things like that to make it a bit more thematic. One thing that is missing is the mercenary mode guy. He's gone. I don't know where he's gone. Will he come back? I'm not sure, but yeah, as of the PTR build, the current PTR build, he's gone missing. So yeah, Blizzard, bring him back. They're going to need him to get faster queues. Now, moving out of Ouroboros and over to Torghast and Legendaries, they're actually adding a neat little addition to the UI for creating Legendaries. Now, beforehand, it was just kind of a blank slate, and it didn't really give you too much information on how to make Legendaries, but now in patch 9.0.5, you have these red X's, and when you mouse over them, it actually gives you a little bit of information on where to find missives, where to find vessels, and where to find all the bits that you need to create these Legendaries. So it is a nice quality of life addition. Obviously, by this point, everyone kind of knows how to make a Legendary, but nonetheless, there is still people out there who are jumping into the game and might not be well versed on the system. So yeah, a great little addition there, and definitely a helping hand for people that aren't aware. Also in Torghast, they made some tweaks to the UI when you select a layer to go into Torghast. They've added a little description for each of the sections that you go into, and they've kind of cleaned up the UI quite nicely to make it a lot more obvious which one you're clicking on, and they've actually added a recommended item level section. So for each of the layers, it actually does give you a recommended item level, which is really cool. And as I said, there's just a slight cleaner UI now to the Torghast UI, and I'm a big fan of it, and I think they've done a really good job in making it look a lot better than the previous version. And actually inside Torghast, they're adding a brand new upgrade available from Venari, and this is called the Broker Traversal Enhancer, and it says that it allows you to see and use hidden teleportation points inside Torghast. Now, I did get this upgrade and run Torghast, but I couldn't find anything new, but there is a comment on Wowhead that says that essentially it adds a smallish white orb on the floor, and pretty much when you click it, you teleport short distances to kind of avoid hard and annoying areas. So Yeah, he said in brackets there chains as well, or unreachable platforms. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice little quality of life edition there from Venari, and you can purchase that for 875 Stygia in patch 9.0.5. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, one of the major changes of 9.0.5 is those Covenant class changes, but that's not the only thing changing with Covenant. Specifically, the Kyrian back pieces, the Kyrian sigil and the Halo back attachments are actually getting a upgrade in this patch. Now, it's not much of an upgrade. It is a weird upgrade, but it makes sense. They're actually bending them. Now, in the live game right now, they are completely flat, and as of patch 9.0.5, they are bending them so they don't clip too much with shoulder pads, which makes sense, right? It actually doesn't look too jarring either. I actually don't really mind the change too much. It's one of the first things I actually noticed when I first went on the PTR. I was like, oh, that's broken, but apparently, yeah, it's a completely planned change, and it is to obviously just avoid major clipping with the shoulder pads. Now, will we see any of the other back attachments changing? Potentially, but as of right now, it is the Kyrian sigil and the Halo back pieces specifically that have had this kind of extra curve added onto them. Speaking of curve, another change is actually to the undead spines. Now, obviously in Shadowlands, they did add the kind of boneless undead version, which is really, really great, and there was an issue with the spine. The spine was clipping quite badly through a lot of cloaks, and it looks like in patch 9.0.5, they are rectifying this issue finally. So yeah, undead players, rejoice. You can finally have your skin and your cloaks. So yeah, you can have everything you've ever wanted. Our next minor change is actually one that you're probably going to notice straight away as soon as you log in, and that is actually a brand new mounting animation. Yeah, so instead of the current mounting animation that we have right now, we're going to have this one, which is where you kind of mount up and you burst into like a big bubble into your mount, and it's kind of dramatic and it's kind of over the top, but I love it. I actually really do like this new mounting animation, and yeah, so there it is, guys. You are going to have a brand new mounting animation for probably, what, the first time since probably Vanilla WoW, right? It's probably the first time since Vanilla WoW we're having a brand new mounting animation. Maybe I'm incorrect on that, but do let me know. But yeah, this is pretty huge, right? It's still a minor change, though. I'd say it's a minor change still. So yeah, mounting animation coming in patch 9.0.5. Another change which I actually thought was a bug, and potentially could still be a bug, but we'll see what happens once the patch actually releases, is the location of the game menu. So as you can see here, it's slightly elevated. Yeah, it's kind of off on its axis. It's just slightly higher than where it was before, and I'm not really too sure why. That's really strange. So yeah, the game menu is now higher up. Is this making room for something else to go underneath it? I honestly have no idea. Maybe there's some sort of grand plan here. I have absolutely no clue. Guys, let me know your theories on why the game menu moved. Another menu that has moved is also the ready check. The ready check has also moved location as well to a slightly higher place. So yeah, it looks like they're making room for something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, the moving stuff north. Our 13th change is actually to the mission table. Now, the more missions now have a really nice looking UI, a little bit different to what you have for the current Covenant missions, and you can really see them standing out a lot more on the mission table now. So once you have a more mission, you're going to have this brand new kind of dark UI, which looks really cool and very thematic for those more missions. So yeah, just a little minor change there of the UI. I really do like the new design of it, and it matches quite nicely with the more theme. Sticking with UI elements, I've actually added a really handy thing to the Renown UI. So as you can see right here at the top, it's actually going to let you know whether or not you've hit the Renown cap for that week. Now, obviously, we're getting towards the end of the Renown cap now, and but this is kind of a future-proofing thing, so when we do add more Renown in 9.1, we're more than likely going to be using this UI element. Now, it has a couple of different versions. If you're literally kind of on the ball with the Renown, it's just going to tell you to simply do the 1,000 Anima quest, and of course, returning the souls to the Maw. But if you are in the kind of the catch-up phase, it will tell you different activities you can do to get that catch-up Renown, which I think is really great and super handy, because it's one thing that people ask all the time is, you know, what's the quickest way to get Renown? I need to catch up, you know, I've got a threshold or whatever. So I think that's really super handy for new players and people that are a bit confused by the system. And when you have hit that Renown cap, it will actually let you know that you've hit the Renown cap, there's no more Renown you can get, and that's kind of the maximum you can get currently in the game. So yeah, nice little quality of life addition there to the Renown UI. Our final minor change comes in the form of mount descriptions. Now, this is actually just for a couple of mounts that are a little bit confusing for players, whether or not they can ride them in different covenants or what they drop from and stuff like that. So one example is the Wild Glimmerfur Prowler. There are a couple of mounts like this, like the Predatory Plague Rock for the Necrolords. Essentially, these mounts only drop for the specific covenants, but they can be ridden by other covenants. And what they've added to the description now is just the covenant. So as you can see here for the Wild Glimmerfur Prowler, it now says Covenant Night Fae, where originally it didn't say anything. So people were farming this mount, assuming they could get it, which is just not true. So now it is confirmed that yes, these mounts do only drop for the specific covenant, but can be ridden by people of other covenants. So yeah, a little bit of a clear up there. Still not 100% crystal clear, but yeah, you know, it is what it is, and it's a minor change nonetheless. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That is the 15 minor changes coming to the game in patch 9.0.5. There probably is some more, and do let me know if you have found any more changes like this on the PTR. I'd love to know. But yeah, 15 is the total that I found currently, and it's a nice round number. So yeah. So yeah, guys, do let me know what you think of the video, and as I said, do let me know of any other changes. So before I go, guys, I'd like to give a massive shout out to my amazing patrons, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subs. You guys are awesome. If you'd like to support the channel in any of those ways, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. I've also got a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members, and as I said, I am now streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. We basically made this entire list on the stream, and it was so much fun. You guys were finding stuff as well, and yeah, it was a good collaborative effort. So shout out to you guys for helping me out with the video. If you want to check out more stuff like that, guys, we're mostly on the PTR all the time now. So yeah, twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.